Thanks for checking out this video. So I'm excited about this. This is the kickoff video for this series. Now, if you're not familiar with what I'm doing, I announced it in my channel update video recently, so you can go ahead and check that out. But I'll give you a rehash right here. I'm doing a friendly competition with your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, whose channel I will have linked in the description. And you will, well, I was going to say you'll need to go to his channel. You don't need to, but I would encourage it because this is a competition. I am going to present my 80s horror movie superlatives for 1980 in this video. He will also be putting up a video at the same time, same day, which is why I will have a link to his channel in my description. Now, watch mine, watch his, and then come back to my channel because I will also have a poll up on my channel where you can vote who you think did better. And honestly, you can kind of choose whatever you think. You know, if you want to vote for the person who had their picks line up closest to what you would pick, you can do that. If you want to pick who you think justified their picks the best, you can do that. Or if you just want to go based off of who presented the best looking video, which will probably be Uncle Pete because I'm no frills and he does some frills with his stuff. He puts more time into it. You can do it that way. So basically you can rate it however you want it. So how we're going to do it is I am going to have a poll for every year. We are doing 1980 through 1989, and once it's all said and done, I'll average it out and see who won for most of the years, and the person who wins gets to choose a horror movie for the other person to give their treatment to for their channel. So in which case, if, you know, Uncle Pete wins, he will have me do like a deep dive review analysis on a horror film that he chooses. If I win, I will have him do a kill count or kill analysis of his Nails in the Coffin videos he does for whatever horror film I choose. So yes. And honestly, if I end up winning, I don't want to influence anything. If I end up winning, I may actually do a poll and have like a few choices and see what everyone else wants me to pick. Because I might have like 3 or 4 and then see what people think I should pick. But anyway, that's getting way ahead. I actually have a feeling that I may be at a disadvantage during this because I think Uncle Pete has seen a lot more than me, so we will see. But regardless, this is about having fun. This isn't about the actual competition. That's just like an extra little fun thing on the side. So let me get into it. So it's, 7 categories here? So I'm just going to go through them as I have them written down. So for 1980, oh, and I do need to also say, I got all this off of Letterboxd. So Letterboxd is free. You can sign up for that, although they have, you know, also a premium version of it. So that's where I got all mine from. I just kind of, in the app on my phone, you can filter by release date and then by genre. So that's what I did. Lots of films, but these are my picks. And these are personal. These are personal picks. So the most amazing horror film from 1980, for me personally, shouldn't be a big surprise to people familiar with my channel, The Shining. I love, love, love Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Not only is the story amazing, not only is the acting amazing, the music's amazing, it looks beautiful, it is filled with dread. The hotel itself is its own character. It's a unique film, and just all the way around, everything technical is phenomenal. It is one of my favorite films. One of my favorite films of any genre of all time. So obviously I have to pick The Shining for most amazing. So for the category of so bad it's good, my favorite so bad it's good film from 1980 is Humanoids from the Deep. Now, why not pick Roger Corman? Because Roger Corman films are typically so bad they're good. They're wacky, they're out there, and Humanoids from the Deep is no exception. Literally, a sleepy seaside town has these creatures crawl out of the deep, and they start going around sexually assaulting people and wreaking havoc, basically. And the insane amount of chaos that happens in the end scene where they're having like a festival or something, and tons of these things just crawl out of the water and just start going on a rampage. It's nutty, it's over the top, it's crazy. It's not a good film, but it's a super fun film. So that's why Humanoids from the Deep is my so bad it's good pick. My most WTF film. I'm going to go, I was a little conflicted on this one. I'm going to go, though, with Motel Hell. Now, Motel Hell I considered for my So Bad It's Good film, but I don't really think it's that bad of a film. I think Humanoids from the Deep is more on the bad side than Motel Hell is. Now, why I put Motel Hell as the WTF is it's wacky, it's out there, it really does kind of make you recoil at points. The whole planting people and cutting their vocal cords and keeping the bag over their heads, and when they try and talk, like, it really is kind of a shocking type film where you're just like, what is going on? It is nutty. And then further, that the sheriff has no clue what's going on in this. There's plenty of WTF moments in Motel Hell. It is a fun ride, but it's very WTF. So Motel Hell, my WTF pick. The best gore. This one was an easy pick for me, but I also considered this film for the best So Bad It's Good film because there's really no plot to it, and it is just kind of a series of visuals, but it does have the best gore for the year. City of the Living Dead by Lucio Fulci. If you're not familiar with this film, the kill scenes are the best. Best of all, well, I mean, people can debate this, but for me, best of all is a drill through a person's head. Looks amazing. The other kill that I really, really like is when a woman's intestines, just like everything, just pouring out of her mouth. There's a lot of head grabbings with the scalps being, it's like scalp and the skull being pulled off with with like zombie type people's hands. It gets all the way to the brain. There's plenty of viscera and it looks phenomenal in this film. Like I said, there's really not much of any story to this film, but it is a very fun ride. The kills are inventive. There's a lot of great visuals in the film. And like the category says, the gore is the best, in my opinion. So that's why City of the Living Dead, best gore. The most unique. I'm going to go ahead and say the most unique film for 1980, for me, horror-wise, is John Carpenter's The Fog. Think about this. Creepy fog creeping in on this sleepy seaside town. Have you noticed the theme, by the way? I love sleepy seaside settings. I really do. But this fog creeps in, and you have this disc jockey in a lighthouse. Very unique. You have Tom Atkins. You have Jamie Lee Curtis. You have Adrienne Barbeau. I mean, and then what is this fog bringing in? This fog is bringing in ghost pirates. It's something. It is something. I mean, and then where the story ends up going from there, just all the events, how everything comes out. Very unique, in my opinion. Like, who thinks that making a horror movie about fog, and then contained inside that fog, ghost pirates, it speaks for itself, in my opinion. So that's why The Fog, plus I just love that film, that's why The Fog is my pick for most unique from 1980. Now, the most overrated. We don't have many categories that are a little bit negative. Now, when I say most overrated, this is, well, I mean, all these picks are very personal to me. So I realize when I say a most overrated film, that's for me personally. And I totally expect that people are going to be like, I actually think that it's underrated, or I actually think it's perfectly finely rated. So for me, most overrated is going to be Terror Train. Hear me out on this one. There are some good moments of Terror Train. The concept of terror on a train is cool. Jamie Lee Curtis is a good aspect of it. Too much David Copperfield, I will say. The kills are terrible. There's no gore to them. They're really uninventive and kind of just like, they just fall flat. They fall extremely flat. Now, the performance of the main baddie in this one is really awesome, especially at the very end. So there are some good things about it, but I think overall it's just a very overrated film for me personally. I hear people talk about it a lot. It has become a cult classic, and I can see why people really do enjoy it. But for me, it's a boring watch, except for the very, very end of the film, and there's a lot of wasted time in this film, and I'm just not a fan of it. So that's why. And I totally expect that people will be able to, people will leave a comment and tell me why you actually really like Terror Train, and that's totally cool. I'm 100% down with that. Now, the final category makes sense to follow most overrated. It is the most underrated film of 1980. Now, the one I'm about to say, it's not that people don't talk about it, it's that people don't talk about it as much as I think they should because of how good it is. And that is Maniac. Yes, the original Maniac, I think, is phenomenal. Joe Spinell does such an amazing job. And I think one of the reasons that people don't talk about it as much is when people talk about things like Maniac, they tend to talk about Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which is a decent film, but I actually think that the whole killer, like going further inside the killer's psyche and seeing from the killer's life, basically, when it comes to that type of film, I think Maniac does it a lot better. It's way more intense, in my opinion, and I just think it's overall better done. The other thing is the kills in Maniac, really good. I mean, Tom Savini, what can you say? It's going to be awesome. Especially the head, the shotgun to the head. I mean, come on. That is an insane scene. But yeah, I really think that Maniac is underrated. No, I almost said overrated. Definitely not overrated. It is definitely underrated. People do like it, but I think it's underrated for what it is. So those are all my picks. Hopefully people enjoy them. You may not, agree with all of them, but hopefully you understand my justification for picking them. Now, I would like to hear from you. Put in the comments on my video, on Uncle Pete's video, or on both of our videos, what would your picks for all those categories be? I'm very interested to know what other people would pick. And then if you want to give like a sentence after each one, like why you pick it, that's fine. Or if you just want to throw the picks out, you can do that. But remember, link in the description to Uncle Pete's channel. Go over there and watch his video now, and then come back to my channel and vote in the poll. I mean, you don't have to, but it's more fun that way, right? But anyway, we will be going through 1981, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. I know I didn't need to do that, but to exemplify how many videos are coming in the series, I did it. But those are coming, and get excited. It's going to be a fun time. But do me a quick favor, hit subscribe if you haven't already for my channel. Also, subscribe to Uncle Pete's channel, your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. If you have not, he's doing really good stuff over there. So also hit the notification bell buttons, because then you'll know when we're putting up new videos, and we're doing a good amount of videos. Regardless, thank you very much for taking your time to watch this. Hope you had fun with it, and until next time, keep it brutal.